Welcome back, lawn lovers. BW here. Hey, it's time to fertilize the new grass. It's September 29th today, or 29 days since I planted my new cool season lawn. That means my new grass is ready for more starter fertilizer. When growing new grass from seed, it's important to give it the proper amount of fertilizer at time of seeding and thereafter. Here's how the renovations are doing so far. I always wish my Kentucky Bluegrass renovations would come in as quickly as perennial ryegrass or tall fescue, but that's just not how the world works. Kentucky Bluegrass requires patience. It's always interesting to see where it will come in the fastest and where it will lag. So many factors go into that equation that it's impossible to fully understand why it does what it does. Kentucky Bluegrass takes its sweet time filling in, but it usually fills in before the heat of the following summer. I applied the same starter fertilizer at time of seeding, and now I'm going to apply more. I'm weighing out what I need to use according to the recommendations on the package label. This starter fertilizer claims to contain an amount of weed preventer to prevent weeds from growing in your new grass for up to 6 weeks, but it only contains enough fertilizer to last for up to 4 weeks. I found from experience that I can safely reapply this fertilizer after 4 weeks and extend my total weed prevention to 8 weeks or more. The label says not to apply at bag rate more than 3 times per year. If you used a starter fertilizer without a weed preventer in it, you could fertilize weekly if you like. But if you do, make sure that you don't apply more than 1/4 pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet per week, or 1 pound per 1,000 square feet per month. Any more may damage the seedlings, be wasteful, and possibly run off and pollute a wetland. The easiest way to make sure you don't over-apply your fertilizer is to simply apply it at the recommended rate on the bag, no more than once a month. Bagged lawn fertilizers normally contain a pound of nitrogen or less per 1,000 square foot application. After my 2 initial applications of starter fertilizer with weed preventer, I'll switch to a fall fertilizer that doesn't contain weed preventer or phosphorus. At that time, winter will be close at hand, so I'll be limited to applying 1/4 pound of nitrogen, or 1/4 of the recommended rate on the bag per week, until the ground freezes. With this spreader, reducing the setting to 2/3 of the recommended setting on the bag of fertilizer allows me to make 2 passes to cover the given area and ensure that I spread the fertilizer evenly. Established cool season turf grass doesn't need very much fertilizer in the spring, but your new grass will benefit from a full pound of nitrogen per month at that time. Be sure to cut back to your normal fertilizing schedule before the heat of summer arrives. Here's the calculation I use for the fertilizer with weed preventer. A 21.5 pound bag covers 5,000 square feet, so 21.5 pounds divided by 5 equals 4.304 pounds per 1,000 square feet. I need to cover 1,100 square feet, so 1.1 times 4.3 equals 4.73 pounds of fertilizer for the side yard. Now get out there and feed your new grass. You can do it.